Brazil, decided to take a play from the Donald Trump handbook. And Steve Bannon is proud of this because Bannon does what? He promotes terrorism. Here's a video.
Muita gente lá fora, pessoal. A polícia não conseguiu conter o povo. Não conseguiu conter o povo. Quebraram as janelas, quebraram tudo, entraram dentro da casa.
Vai, bora. Polícia atropelando o povo. Olha isso, gente. Polícia atropelando o povo. Olha só, gente.
Passando por cima?
Não, pelo amor de Deus. Não.
Bala de verdade aqui, bala de verdade no Patriota. Olha aqui, gente. Olha aqui, gente. Bala de verdade, misturado com bala de roça. Caralho, filho da puta. Olha aqui a situação, gente. Olha aqui.
Let's put up Bannon's response to this, and I will give you some background. So Steve Bannon said, Brazilian freedom fighters. Let's keep that up. Sunday, Bolsonaro, his supporters stormed Brazil's capital in an event that was basically a mirror reflection of the terrorist attack that took place on January 6th in this nation. So Steve Bannon, he sees this. Understand the context here. The person who lost, well, he's a far-right conservative. As a matter of fact, he's a big fan of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a big fan of his. He lost. So Bannon sees this similar thing they did and say, well, these are freedom fighters. No, sir, Mr. Bannon, Dr. King was a freedom fighter. Thousands of former far-right President Bolsonaro's radical supporters stormed and vandalized the country's National Congress, Supreme Federal Court, and presidential office. Before security forces regained control, a flag was placed in front of the National Congress reading intervention. It's a reference to calls for the military to depose of the current actual elected president who defeated the far-right conservative. Once again, these elements are not similar. This is exactly the same. The incidents which recalled January 6th came amid disinformation about the election, aimed mostly at Lula. Lula accused the mob of taking advantage of the quiet Sunday as his administration was moving into government. So the president gets elected, there's a transition process, and all of a sudden, these individuals would like to overthrow their known form of government because their guy lost. Okay, exact same as Trump. You see, when you submit things in the universe, sometimes other people pick it up. So here we are. Let's put up the picture of the current, actual president who was elected by the people. You see, you're not really disenfranchising him. He's one person. Yes, he is the duly elected president. But to overturn the results that created his current matrix of power, that means you have invalidated the voters that put him there. So that's who you are truly against. So those who attacked Congress, he said they were fascist and took aim at him and his movement. Today, while touring the destruction, the current and elected president promised to bring the rioters to justice. Throughout his campaign, Bolsonaro, who did not immediately concede the race, once again, another dynamic from the Trump playbook, sowed seeds of doubt about election security. He told his supporters misinformation. He repeatedly asserted that Brazil's electronic voting machines were prone to be fraud, with no evidence to support his unfounded claims. It is not a stretch to simply say, if Donald Trump didn't do what he did, you may not see this happening right now in Brazil. Why? Because one man created this in Brazil. One man, not original at all, adopted word for word, line for line, the exact criminal expressions of the former president of the United States. Without that idea, without that thought being placed into his mind, he's not this creative by himself. He doesn't say these things without Donald Trump saying them first. It's a cause and effect relationship. Literally, the leadership of one individual in this country has impacted the leadership of one individual in another. Those individuals, both of them, they have significant followings. That means it permeates to the entire culture and transforms reality as you know it. Things are now choppy in Brazil, just like it was here. There's more. Let's put up a picture. Meanwhile, Bolsonaro has reportedly been in Florida. There you go, he's in Florida. And was admitted to a hospital today in Orlando with abdominal pain. Right. 5 days prior, where was he? He was shopping at a Publix. You don't believe me? Let's go to the video. I thought you were trying to get back in office. But you're not with your followers? You're not. That's right. You're following the Donald Trump. That's okay. So you're not. Let's put up the governor's picture, Rashad, the governor of Brazil. Capital District said, well, more than 400 rioters have now been arrested as authorities continue to restore order following that event. But guess what? You see that guy right there? You know what he called it? An act of terrorism. There you go. There you go. Our president, current, well, he tap dances around that. All of them do. Almost every single one of them. But I guarantee you, if those who attacked the Capitol in America would have been black or last names would have been Muhammad, they would have definitely been called terrorists. Well, they would have been called dead terrorists. Here's CNN Brazil's coverage of rioters marching in handcuffs. Here it is.
Nas lamentáveis que a gente está vendo, muito se procurou onde estaria Anderson Torres. Viemos aqui, trouxemos a informação em primeira mão de que ele seria usando, de que sabia dessa possibilidade. O próprio governador ibanês não impediu a viagem do então secretário de Segurança Pública, Anderson Torres, e não teve uma convocação extraordinária de policiais.
Now there's a lot here. We don't really know who's involved in what regime. There's allegations that even the governor decided to basically not do his job, all right? So at some point we will have more information, but right now, yeah, this is the exact same thing that happened in America. Dear brother, thoughts here?
You know, I think one of the biggest ironies of all of this is that it just made Lula an even bigger legend.
It did, yeah.
You know, like just the plot to overthrow him going to prison, making it through all of that. All it did was strengthen his image and his mission, and strengthen, you know, the left worldwide, because he showed strength, he showed perseverance, he showed that, you know, whatever your cause that you're fighting for, whatever it is that you're living for, is bigger than, you know, whatever suffrage you have to go through at any given moment. I mean, that's all this did. And now to just see Bolsonaro just kind of casually strolling around in a Publix with his beer belly hanging over his jeans, and him being like this cheap loser moron knockoff of Donald Trump. Like, one, whether it's there or here, y'all can't just wait for the next election, because you're a bunch of babies. And then two, what did Bolsonaro stand for? Absolutely nothing. He's a completely ridiculous clown who has some of the dumbest quotes anybody could ever read. And he, somehow stumbled and fell his way into office. And now he's out just like he should be.
Once again, just like Donald Trump.